Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Hager. This is their part number 1-813-2499. This is a video about a hinge screw, is what it is. Something particular about hinge screws, however, that you have to know, whether it be wood or machine, is that they are particular for the application in one way or another. Machine screws are very specific. They are an absolute diameter with a thread count. They are usually thread forming. They are flat, number 3 Phillips, almost always number 3 Phillips, with an undercut head. Very particular screw, as is the hinge screw when it comes to wood doors or wood frames or anything that would require the application that would require a wood screw. This is specific for an absolute reason, and I'll explain why as well. Overall length of this is 1.25 inches. This is a number 12, so the diameter of the body of the screw, that's a number 12, is what this is. I don't know off the top of my head what a number 12 technically is. That's an easy online search. My caliper tells me that the body's going to be about 0.157. About 0.157. Let's talk about specifically where you would use this screw. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. So this is defined as a number 12 by 1.25 threaded to the head, number 3 Phillips flathead wood screw. Very particular. The screw is just a number 12 flathead screw that's 1.25 long that you could use to attach really whatever. But in our industry, this is specific for an exact reason. Before we get to that, this is Hager's 1-813, right? Yeah, -2499. You can buy these in either they call it a box. It's just a bag of 100 screws. You can either buy them by the multiple of 100, or you can purchase them individually. There's a cost difference when you're buying a bag of 100 versus each, but you can buy it either way. This is in the 32D finish, they would call this. That means that this is going to be made of stainless, okay, stainless steel, and it is in a brushed finish, meaning it's not polished for use with a polished type of application. Now, and I'm also going to show you the Hager sheet where you'll be able to see this along with all of its other items. This screw part number doesn't occur in their catalog. So it turns out that number 12 by 1.25 threaded to the head flathead wood screw is specified in NFPA 80. NFPA 80 is the standard for fire openings and other protectives. It's the published document from the National Fire Protection Agency that is the guideline when it comes to what is permissible and what are the regulations, so to speak, regarding fire doors and other protectives. There can be other breaches through a wall or a ceiling or a floor. That's not a door. You can have you might have a fire-rated wall and you have a kitchen on one side, you have a serving area on the other. Well, there's just a small little half door. That is a opening that requires a protective that we really wouldn't call a door. It could be a fusible link drop-down shutter or something like that. There's all kinds of rules when it comes to the world of breaches through fire walls or fire separations. And it turns out in NFPA 80, this exact screw type is called out. So let's switch to the screen view and show you why this screw is so important. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. So let's look at all the supporting information that we have going here. This is the photo of the bag of the screws with your part number, your description, your finish, 100 pieces. and then just different close-up views of the screw itself. You'll note that wood screws are not undercut head like they are for machine screws. That's because you're putting it into wood, and that wood will give way, so to speak, when that flathead screw pushes through the hole in the hinge leaf. Let's look at the supporting document. Now, this is not necessarily published. This is out of the Hager catalog, but it will allow me to show you how Hager handles their different screws. So first of all, you have wood screws and you have machine screws. All of these screws, by the way, are 4, 4.5, and 5-inch tall hinges, not the width, the height. So there's wood and machine. There's steel, there's brass, and there's stainless steel. Hager generates a different part number for every base material, for every finish, and for every type. So rather than, well, whatever, it's quite handy. So when you use a specific part number, you don't have to specify the finish with Hager, because the 1811-6208 is a wood screw made of brass in a US 10 satin bronze finish. No confusing it. So this chart, while it's not published, is there. Actually, we'll have that added to the extended description of what you're looking at. We'll have a table down below this video so that you can just click on any of these part numbers that you need for the screw type. So really handy document to have. Now, I had mentioned multiple times about the importance of this exact screw, and let me show you the importance of that. And I have that document uploaded for my use. The document is a purchased document. It's a paid licensed document. So my copy of NFPA 80 is licensed to me. It's on here. There we go. NFPA 80. Standard for fire doors and other opening protectives. I've got the 2013 edition here of it as well. I don't know what edition this is, but we'll look. I have it already open, and here it is. This is, oh, okay, so I've got the 2013 edition open. Your local building code is has very likely adopted NFPA 80. And then your local building code will tell you what edition they're working from. And it's generally 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12 years behind the most current edition, because it takes time for these changes to be brought in. Now the point is if you work in any related industry to what NFPA 80 governs, it would be a sound investment to actually own or have access to this. I can't say that I've read it cover to cover every word, but I've referenced it countless times, such as right now. Well, in Chapter 6, it's the building hardware, or builder's hardware chapter. Yeah, swinging doors with builder's hardware, Chapter 6. Well, I happen to know, as you go through this is a chart about spring hinges, which is really interesting. But I happen to know 6.4.3.2, attaching hinges to doors. And believe it or not, 6.4.3.2.3 specifically says mortise hinges shall be secured to wood and plastic-covered composite doors or wood core doors with number 12 by 1.25 inch flat threaded to the head steel wood screws. Pilot holes shall be drilled at 5/32 inch, 4 millimeter in diameter. The word shall means you will do it. It is mandatory. It's not the word should. You should do it like a suggestion. It must be. It's the word that they're using to say you must pre-drill these holes with a 5/32 diameter bit, or a VIX bit with the proper diameter bit in it. VIX bit, if you're not accustomed or familiar with that term, VIX bit is an extremely helpful, and we sell them. Let's just pull it up in our site. Yeah, this is a good image, I suppose, from Just Door Tools of what a VIX bit does. Once your door is mortised, you put your hinge in place, and it has a spring-loaded tip on it. that when you push down with this end attached to the chuck of your drill, it will give you the right size hole drilled, plus centered exactly where you need it. So, VIX bit. It's so important that it is literally in an FPA80. You might find it fascinating to go through the rest of the information because there's other information here that you might find very new information to you, what you didn't know before, etc. One interesting thing about that is it does say in here, actually it says right here, spring hinges shall be labeled and shall meet the requirements of ANSI A156.17, standard for self-closing. The point is if you have a fire door, you can hang that with a steel or stainless steel base material, ball bearing, full mortise hinge, or a steel or stainless ball bearing hinge. You don't have to have a UL label or stamp on that hinge, but if it's a spring hinge, you must. It must be labeled, and if you look at spring hinges, you'll know whether or not it's fire rated or listed or permissible for use on fire doors because you will see a stamp on there on the front or the back side. Anyway, NFPA80 is pretty handy. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, so in conclusion, we made a video about a hinge screw, but who would have known that there's so much behind what a hinge screw actually is. The name Hager is synonymous with hinges. Hager Hinge is the name that I knew Hager as originally. They are much more than just hinges. Hinges, lock sets, exit devices, door closers, electrified hardware, trim and auxiliary, weather stripping, sliding door material, accessory hardware. Like I say, everything for the door and frame except the door and frame itself. There are a couple of people, there's many people at Hager that are awesome. There's two in particular that I know of that are extremely active in our industry from an education perspective. They are industry leaders when it comes to teaching the industry, me included, about how things work, whether to prepare to study and the approach of our industry's highest credential. The other gentleman is in the same capacity for a variant of that, a different facet of our industry credentials. Extremely active in the industry. And I had asked one of the two, I may have asked them both, what's it like to work for a company that's 170 years old? And he says it's great. That link below this video to the Hager catalog, there's a link more from Hager. It'll say that current catalog is there, but also a Hager catalog from 1915. So if you wanted to see what they were making basically at the start of World War I, that catalog is there. It's there for fun. It's very nice. I do believe that there is an older one that Hager has. They probably have lots of older ones. A Hager was in the office here not too very long ago and was able to relay him these stories. Any questions on anything Hager related, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.